Welcome to this how-to video from eWard Winning Outdoors at ewardwinning94.wordpress.com. I wanted to show you today a couple of beginning fly tire hints. I am not an extremely experienced fly tyer. I've been doing it for a year or two and I've learned quite a bit. One of the first things I did was started looking at videos to see how people much more experienced did it. And one of the challenges is a strange looking tool called a whip finish tool. It can be a little bit intimidating and it can be really handy for finishing a lot of flies, but it can also be kind of intimidating if you don't know how to use it. Don't let it scare you away from tying flies. There's actually a simpler way to finish a lot of flies that I'm going to show you first. I have here a jig head hook. This is not a fly tying hook, but I wanted to use something a little bigger because it would be easier to actually see what I'm doing. And one simple way to finish a fly is just with a bunch of half hitches. And to do a half hitch, I've already got my thread wrapped around the hook as if I've tied all my various feathers and stuff on. You basically take and twist a loop in your thread, run it over the head, and tighten it down. And you can do that several times right behind the head of the hook. And in a lot of cases, if all you're doing is tying your feathers down, that's very adequate. Works great. Put a drop of head cement on it, and you'll have something that is going to hold pretty well for you. If you're wanting to actually build up a head, then the whip finish tool is a great tool. And I had to watch a few times and practice a few times, and actually that's part of why I have this set up, is to show you, if you want to get good at it, don't practice on a fly you've just tied. Because if you don't get it right, now you just boogered up all your work. It's much easier to just get a hook, wrap some thread on it, and practice it until you're comfortable with it. And then, once you're comfortable doing a whip finish, then do it on an actual fly. So there's a hook part on the front that you actually hook the thread with, and then this rounded back part is designed with a little bit of a indentation there to catch the thread. And what you want to do is kind of make a triangle here. And then the whole point of this is that it will allow you to just wrap around the head of the fly a bunch of times. And you can wrap as many times as you want, and then when you're done, you can simply, I say simply and it doesn't want to go, simply release your little hooky-doo thing there and pull it, and you're done. So going through that again in slower motion here, hook the thread with the hook part, wrap the thread around that little indentation on the back, kind of oval looking part, and then you can wrap, oops, there we go. I messed that up and it's going to happen to you, and if it does, don't let it bother you. Just pick up where you left off and keep going. So I'm going to just start wrapping around. It's tying down the main body of my thread. It's building up a little bit of a head there. And when I'm done, I can just release the hook, pull that part out, and snug it tight. That's all there is to it. Again, practice with it. It's not that terrible, but until you actually run through a few times, it's not going to go right the first time or two. And don't worry about it. None of us was perfect at what we've done until we do it a few times. Most of us aren't perfect now. That's all there is to tie a good whip finish. Practice it, get comfortable with it, and you'll find it to be a very useful tool. Click down below to like and subscribe for more helpful videos.